Hey guys, so while we're waiting on a Halloween Horror Nights announcement, while we're waiting on everything to get going at the parks this week, I thought maybe I would just take a few minutes and talk about what's going on in our lives with looking for a new apartment, all that kind of stuff, and just kind of let you know what we're thinking, what we're planning on doing, and just in general what's going to happen with the channel. So come on, enjoy. Now, while you might be thinking, why move? You know, you're in a pretty good spot, close to everything, and you're not paying too much where you're at. What are the frustrations for leaving and all this? One of the things that is kind of frustrating is you can kind of see like this new pavement that was put down. This is all new. And while it is a minute thing to get upset about, we were the first parking lot here to have something done. And then the rest of the complex was done. But we honestly were the first ones. So the very first night we had to park over here in this area. I got up the next morning, saw that there were cones there. They had clearly told us it was just going to be this area right here. And got up the next morning, and the cones had been moved down here where I parked, back there where that black car is at. So, had I not been getting up to go to the park that morning, we might have, maybe, had our car towed. Now, with that being said, and the frustration of that, yes, we totally understand. But, you know, where we're at now, we just don't feel like it is taken care of in certain ways. Yes, certain things look nice, like flowers and things, but nothing ever gets done. So we're always struggling with where to park. Sometimes, which our apartment is right over here, sometimes I don't even get to park back here. I have to park on the opposite side of the complex. That is not the main reason why we're thinking about leaving, but it was one of those ordeals where it kind of leads to that. And we don't really do these walk-in talks anymore. We need to do more of them, but just kind of walking and talking about what's going on in our life. And the place that we're currently looking at is in Kissimmee, which is really nice. And we're trying to figure out price point wise, because where we're at now, they want us to pay a prorated amount to move in, plus the first month's rent right after that. It's just really expensive, and we really don't want to do that, you know. So we're trying to move out of here by July 1st or July 31st, and then just cut the lease and just be like, hey, we'll pay the prorated amount over monthly payments or whatever. Just trying to get out. So currently I'm waiting on a quote back in the application so we can fill that out. So we're like in the process of really doing it. And I think like we don't want to get ourselves in a situation where it's just too much at one time, you know. Up until last month I was still okay with staying, but as I moved on, I think it's time to go, and I think it's time to be closer to the parks. And not only that, while this area may look really pretty right here, just right down the road, it is not very pretty at all. It's actually kind of on the lower end. So we have a lot of riffraff that might drive by, might hang out, and you know, it's just not an area where Angie feels comfortable anymore, and where I'm getting to the point where I don't feel comfortable either. I've had two neighbors move out up top recently. Both of them cause a lot of obstructions, a lot of noise, a lot of yelling and screaming and stuff like that, and that is another reason why we want to move to a safer environment, to the point to where the neighbor from here that lived here came down, knocked on my door in the middle of the night because her boyfriend wouldn't let her into the apartment, wanted to see if I would go in and check. It's just crazy stuff like that. And a lot of people have asked me, is Orlando a safe place to live? Well, I believe that there are some safe areas, there are some not so safe areas to live and to be at. Angie and I just want to feel safe, and I think that's the whole thing. Like, the other night, I thought someone had broke into our house because the apartment above us, their door was wide open, there's no one there. And I thought someone had broke in because of all the noise that was going on, and only God knows what was going on up there. But there was no one currently in that apartment, so it's just really weird and really strange. And so that's kind of like where our mindset is right now of why we want to move. And we know we're going to have to end up paying more, but I think safety-wise and feeling just secure, it's worth to pay a couple $100 more a month. I mean, just in my opinion. But, and it's weird because, like, it does not look, this facility does not look nasty, does not look like it is full of riffraff, but it is full of riffraff. I mean, it really, really is, because of the price point being so low. And I think if you bring in people at that price point, they're like, oh, this is affordable, you start getting whoever you want in here. And it's just very frustrating. And although we still have like a couple of days to decide what we're going to do, we definitely are leaning towards just doing it. The place that we found, you have to pay application fee, all this kind of stuff, but there's no like additional fees to like move in. It's like $0 down to move in, which is amazing as well. So like all the signs are there, everything's there. It's just really expensive to move. And me, I don't like spending a lot of money, but if I do, it's just like one of those things where, you have to spend money to get to where you want to be. It just has to happen. And luckily, through all this, we can kind of figure out, what we want to do and where everything is kind of leading for us to go to and to be at. So it's just one of those things, it's like, got a couple of days to make the decision. Just kind of make a decision. That's kind of why I didn't go to the park today, because Angie and I needed to talk about it, and we're thinking about bringing in a roommate, and we need to talk about it as well and try to get an idea what we're going to do, because I know the next couple of days is going to be kind of crazy park-wise, but just kind of trying to figure all that stuff out. And this is kind of like piggybacking off of our last video of should you move to Orlando. It's definitely expensive. It's not cheap whatsoever, like I stated before, but like it's just one of those things, like you just have to decide what's more important to you, your safety or spending a little bit extra money. I've just never felt like I was going to get shot here, but I've also noticed that like this house across the street here does a lot of weird dealings, and I can't prove what it is. I don't know what it is, but I know that there's a lot of unusual cars that show up here at night. A lot of partying that goes on. Angie and I are not partiers, we're not drinkers. We don't want to be around all of that. And they get really loud and they start doing bonfires, and then throughout the week they have random cars just pull up and leave. So only God knows like what's going on there. So it's just one of those things where it's just like really, really kind of frustrating. Literally, as I said that, a random car just pulled up that I've never seen there before, so which is really weird. I can't prove what it is, but Angie and I have a theory, and I won't go into details on the video what we think the theory is, but it's just kind of one of those things. Now how this will affect our channel, we'll be closer to the parks. We're 19 minutes away from Universal, 3 minutes from Hollywood Studios, 8 minutes from Magic Kingdom. So I mean, you'll see a lot more Disney stuff increase because like it's just right there. Why not? But you'll still get the same amount of videos, so it's not really going to affect the channel in a bad way. It's going to affect it in a really good way. to where we're so close that, I mean, I've even thought about turning into a daily channel. I've really thought about it. Don't know if we'll decide to do that or not, because, you know, we do want to have a life. You know, we don't want to just do whatever, but we've really thought about it. And being so close to the parks, we might be able to do it because we'll be saving money on gas. Like right now, it takes us about, I'd say about 30 minutes to get to Magic Kingdom, 32 to 38 depending on traffic, you know. And gas ain't free, man. As Dwight Schrute says, gas ain't free. So it's just one of those things, like trying to take everything into factor, like where you may pay a little bit more at somewhere else, you're not having to spend a lot of money on gas, and your stuff is covered, like cable, internet. It's all included in our rent at the new place, versus here where we are in a 4-unit little apartment right here. Our electric is pretty high because they base it off the whole building. They don't base it off our 1 unit. They base it off the whole building. And then the air conditioner here is not the greatest. It's like almost like a hotel style, which it can get pretty hot in here in the summer. And the new place has central AC. So if you guys haven't seen that video, go back and look at that, because that's the apartment that we're thinking about getting. But yeah, let me show you what the AC looks like. Yeah, this is the AC units here. And yeah, I mean, they're pretty quiet overall, but inside they are not. But overall, like, there's no like meters here on the side for individually read meters, you know, stuff like that. It's just all us, you know. So this whole 4 units, or 8 units actually, have to pay a premium. And usually monthly we pay anywhere from $150 to $200. Most of the time it's around $200 a month that we end up paying here. And that's just for electric. So what we've been doing is we've just been really thinking about it, really praying about it, asking God what we should do and where we should go with this. And we know He will guide us, and so we need to do the best that we can to kind of make moves forward and get out. And so that's kind of where we're at right now, what we're thinking right now. Overall, we're excited. I mean, we are really, really excited. But, you know, it's kind of like one of those things at the same time. Moving, who likes to do it? You know, no one likes to do it. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys an update today, let you know what we're thinking, what's going on in our world, and why there isn't like a theme park video today. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more information on the theme parks living here in Orlando, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you know when the new videos are coming out. And remember, the road goes ever on. I'll see you guys tomorrow.